but I've been a fraud. I've lied to all of you.
Hello, tubies, and how are you all doing? I hope you're doing fantastically fabulous today, okay? I hope we're all doing fantastic. So, this is the final episode of our little series called Coming Home Again, where mental health is an important thing, and we had to take a week off of work, and I thought, why not give you guys some content while I'm taking that week off of work, and we can reconnect with the spirits, and we can reconnect with our craft. You may hear some things in the background. I do live in an apartment. It is not a quiet building, so I forgive you. Or you should forgive me. Somebody should be forgiving somebody. So in this particular working, what I want to be accomplishing is I'm asking Belial for a very specific thing. And I have a petition that I'm going to wrap around a candle, and I'm going to ask him to be present and be with me, and it is a long and taxing process. I did a live video that YouTube apparently just never wanted to stop processing, so it never got to get uploaded. So if you got to see it, you got to see it, and if you didn't, you didn't. But the gist is that working with demons is not easy, especially working with Belial. It's the process of connecting with them, contacting them, reaching out to them, offering them the things that they need, making sure that they are who they say they are, working with them, building some kind of thing with them, and asking them to do the thing that you want them to do. Now, there's a lot more than what you're seeing in this video, because I could only show you basically the beginning part of this ritual. There's a lot to this ritual, and you're thinking, well, contacting him should only take you 15 minutes at a time. And it's not the length of time to contact him or to speak with him or whatnot. It is the energy involved, and the process can be very taxing. And so what I like to do in this particular case is I've offered him the petition that you will see soon. I've offered him the candles. I've offered him the incense. I built the incense from the ground up instead of doing it in a mortar and pestle like you see here. And right, we're just basically offering him the basics, a little bit of frankincense, red sandalwood, ginger, dark copal, some of the demon summoning, or not summoning, but conjuring incense. I don't like the word summoning, but conjuring incense, right? So we're just placing these incense on there and letting him speak to us through the incense, through the energy, through the all of that stuff that's given off, if you know what I mean. When you're working with these entities, there's this immense kind of power that's given off. Again, it depends on the entity that you're working with, because some entities just don't give off any power. They're just like, hi, how are you? I'm a spirit, I'm a dead person. And some of them are like, hi, how are you? I'm a god or a goddess or a demon or whatever the case may be that you work with. Now, Belial, he didn't want to come. Took a while. It took a while to get him to show up, and near the end he does show up, and he basically asked me, like, what do you want? Like, why are you contacting me? And I had explained to him what was on the petition and what I wanted him to do for me, and his simple response was, okay. I didn't think it would be that easy, but I'm still going to have to do some things because there's some rituals and some castings that he will want me to do. This is not just a one-shot 9-minute spell, right? That's aesthetically pleasing to look at. This is a process. The type of change that I've asked for is a process in of itself. And it's not an easy process to go through. I seem to be asking these demons and these gods and goddesses for this massive change in my life all the time. It's like I want to be a better person, I want to be loved, I want to be appreciated, I want to be valued at my job, I want this, I want that. And it's not a materialistic thing, it's basic human things that I want, right? So I'm going to tell you that Belial's energy is kind of calming. He's not like Belith. Belith is scary. He is a king. I believe it's either 50 legions of spirits and 80 legions of demons, or it might be the other way around, or one of those numbers might be too high or too low. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the other thing that is important to know when working with Belial is, again, I said this last night and I'll say it again, you need to be direct. It doesn't matter if you're working with Belial or if you're working with anybody, any demon, god or goddess, you need to be clear and concise in what it is that you want. And because we humans love to ask for materialistic things all the time, these demons, most of the pagan gods and goddesses love to work with us because we're always going to go back to them. We're always going to go back, right? Like we're always going to go back and say, hey, I need more, or I need this, or I need that, or you help me get this, so let's work together so you can get me that. And they know that you're going to do this, so they love to work with you. Okay? They love to work with you. It's a very low density type of thing that we talk more about in Dancing with Demons. In Dancing with Demons, we also talk about the process of manifestation, but it's from a different perspective. We also talk about what it's like to work with demons, except I don't actually answer the question of what is it like to work with demons. And working with demons can be scary, it can be tough, it can be dangerous, it can be frightening, it can be exhilarating, it can be intoxicating, it can give you a high that you've never had before, or it can suck all of the energy out of you and make you feel depleted and miserable and depressed. So it really depends on what it is that you are trying to get from these entities. What are you trying to achieve? What is your end goal? Why are you contacting them? Right? Belial's tests were weird. It kept making the connection fade between us. Like it felt like he would be right in front of me and then he would just disappear. And I mean, I'm going to have to continue working this type of magics because this particular spell is not a one and done thing. Okay? Most of my magics are not a one and done thing. I show you the one and done aspect of it on YouTube, but in reality, there's so much more that happens behind the scenes with this particular ritual and will continue to happen in order to attain the things that I want to attain. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this series. I hope that you got something out of this series. I hope that it educated you somewhat on just how to be a witch in these times, how to be miserable and pathetic and useless and a fraud. Don't forget, we're a fraud. We're still a fraud. And all of that fun stuff. It helps you to realize that you're not alone in all of this because there are spirits, there are entities, there are your deities, your demons, your angels, your fairy godmothers, your dragons, your whatever it is that you work with. I don't really care. But you're not alone, and it may sometimes feel alone, especially if you work with the Morrigan. She can make you feel very alone, but she's always there, and she's in the background doing the things that she needs to do to get you the things that you've asked for. Belial is a taxing entity to work with. And I wanted to end the series with working, or at least an introduction to working with him from a working perspective video because I believe that he can give me the things that I want in conjunction with the Morrigan, in conjunction with the spirits, in conjunction with the rest of my craft. I believe that he is able to get me the things that I want. And they're not physical, they're not materialistic. This isn't about money or items or power or greed or anything like that. This is just about being a human being. And you also have to realize that while a lot of times the goetic demons or other types of demons are specified as these people that can give you this and they can give you that and they can help you become invisible and they can help you become an artist and a scientist and change the world, and they'll never lie to you and they'll always tell you the truth and this and that and the other thing. When you start to actually build a relationship with them, when you actually start to build something concrete with them, you'll quickly realize that these entities are much more than the texts say that they are. I wouldn't go as far as to say that they're gods or goddesses. I would say that some of them are, due to the way that Christianity and modern religion has bastardized most of the pagan deities. So some of them are gods and goddesses, but most of them are just downright demons. Okay? So I hope that you guys gained something from this series. I hope that it helped you if you're having a tough time. I'm always having a tough time, and we're always here to have a messy time on the internet. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this working, and I hope that you enjoy, and I will see you around, my fabulous little Scoobies.
Hope you can forgive me.